Okay, guys. Well, it's that time of the week again, and we're gonna get to chapter 2 of getting a financial life, a personal finance in your 20s and 30s. So, um, the motto of this chapter is figuring out where you are and where you want to go. The title of it is taking stock of your financial life. So, what is your financial life worth to you? These are some ways, or it'll talk about some ways that you can really get your life on track. And I made some notes here. As you can see, you can probably barely read. This chapter was pretty easy to get into for me personally because I don't like to read for a long time, and that's why this book is starting to become a struggle for me. I really love the information, but trying to get all the pages done within this month is going to be a struggle. I think I'm definitely going to go with a shorter book or a just a book for fun, rather that I'll do a review over the end instead of a book like this where I have to do every chapter. And don't I know that sounds bad that I have to do it, but I don't have to do it. I just enjoy doing it. I do wish I could slow down a little bit, but if I start making exceptions to my rules, I'll slack off, and that's never fun. So without further ado, we're going to get into this. So the first major saying, the first way this chapter starts out is saying it's not going to get easier. You can wait, but it'll just get harder. It's just because you get older, it's not going to be easier to manage your debt. It's not going to be easier to manage your credit cards, payments, all that stuff. That stuff just gets harder as you have a family and you're expected more of. I saw something today, and it was directed towards people my age, and it said, "Take advantage of it as long as you can." As you can see, I'm out of college. I have a real job, but I'm still living at home. I've only been out of college for 6 months at this time, and I will be getting a house soon. But in that time, I'm taking advantage of awesome grandparents allowing me to still live here, and I'm saving up a lot of money and getting myself in the best possible situation to get my life started on the best foot possible. So, as we go deeper into the chapter, there's like subsections within these chapters, and this one's called "Putting a Price Tag on Your Goals." So in there, they kind of just highlight 5 different things. These are just basically the best things you can do. So the first thing it says is a home. The median price home for a first time buyer is around $170,000. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I am definitely not going to spend anywhere close to that on my first house. But the ideal payment for any house is 20%. 20%. So 170,000, 20% of that is 20,000. I think that's right. I think I'm reading that right. Yeah, $20,000. So a lot of people can find loans better. It does go on to say that are closer to 10%, which would be awesome. But on top of whatever percentage you are willing to put down, there's going to be a 2 to 5% closing costs. So, putting a price tag on your goal, you need to figure out what you are willing to pay and, calculate that in there. The next big thing is a car. So, this is probably geared for a lot of people more my age because a lot of them aren't buying houses yet. So, down payment on a car. This is really where you would want to have 20%. And another big thing it preaches on is you're not going to want to get a new car at our age, 20, 30. You're not going to want to get a new car. It really is a really bad value because they lose so much right off the front end. And think about it. If you want to get a $25,000 car, which most new cars you can't get for that much, you're going to have at least $5,000 down, or that'd be smart to do. The next one is create a livable plan to tackle your student loans. That's just simply as it says. I mean, you've got to make it a priority to pay them off, but at the same time, you have to live a little bit. You can't just save everything. You can't just pay those off immediately. You got to live your life a little bit and figure out a good way to pay those off. The next thing it says is try to have a zero balance on your credit card. A lot of people my age make the mistake of thinking credit cards are evil, and they're not at all. They're an awesome way to build credit, but you have to have self-discipline with them. I wanted to read this part, and that's why I'm keep looking down at the book, because it says if you owe $5,000 on a credit card with an interest rate of 17%, you only make the minimum payment each month, it'll end up costing you $6,500 interest in addition to the $5,000. So not only will that cost you $11,500, it'll take 22 years to pay off. And the last thing it preaches about is you really, really want to start to build up your financial cushion. So you want to have, at minimum, which I don't, I really need to start this, of a 3-month pay period, enough to pay your bills for 3 months, living expenses. Better, or what it says to prefer to have, would be 6 months. Once you have 6 months, you're probably good. By then, you're going to have to take some different actions anyways. Next, you need to plan to save. And like I was saying, on page 14, which I'm just going to take a picture and show this in the video, but I'll pop it up right there. It actually shows you if you have a goal, say $10,000, and you want to save $10,000 in 10 years, you have to put $86 back a month to get that. So it's a cool little chart. Like I said, I'll try to show it as I go. The next subsection is where does your money go? So I'm not going to read everything it has. It has a cool little, basically, how to figure out how to budget is all it's doing, and it has a little budget in there. But basically, this is one of the most important things you can do in your 20s. Budget. Actually figure out where your money goes and stick to your budget. This is one thing I started about 6 months ago, and I had a really hard time sticking to that budget because I just had more money coming in than I had to spend on stuff. So I was spending it on things that I kind of needed and kind of didn't. So I will definitely be making a budget and doing some of these 20% and 15% here and there, all those as I go, and actually sticking with it. One cool thing that I saw on page 16 and 17, that was the budget. And one cool thing about that was, if you don't read this book, their big formula for that is your monthly income minus your monthly outflow of cash equals your cash flow. So that's pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to put that out there for you guys in case you don't read it. So as you can see right here, made it real big. These are the 3 financial rules of thumb. They're what we call debt rules. Okay, so your debt payments should be less than 20% of your monthly take-home pay. So that's important. Take-home pay, not after taxes, because that's a lot higher number, and that did make me really, really nervous when I started reading this. Monthly debts should be less than 20% of your take-home pay. That does not include a mortgage or rent. Does not include that. 20% of your take-home pay. I think I'm pretty close to that. I'll have to see. I'd like to update, eventually on these videos and say where I'm at and how much this has helped me. Rule number 2, your house or rent should not be greater than 30% of your take-home pay. Now, this is where I disagree with this rule. For example, if I calculate up mine, it's right at $300. For most people, I figure starting out under $50,000, this is basically going to be impossible. I live in a very small town, and just to rent someplace would be at least $500. Unless I did that math wrong, which I don't think I did, that would definitely be tough. So that's something I will strive for, but something I don't think I can obtain right now. And this is one that I really need to start doing, and this will help with that 3 to 6 month cushion, and that is save 15% of your take-home pay. So that's just saving. That's not, investing it in something else. That is saving guaranteed money that you can get if needed. It's very liquid, so that'll be in a savings account. The next part of the chapter almost lost me. It says getting your financial life in order, keeping track of money coming in, going out. It basically went back over the basically budgeting, and it added in some stuff which I will get to, but the getting your financial life in order. Basically what I gathered from that is there's a big chart from 24 to 26 about documents you'll need throughout your life and everything. And basically what I got from that was save and be organized with your documents, because you never know when you might need them. This is, and it preaches about, and I'm a firm believer in, I actually just got this done today, automate all your bills. It makes it simple, makes it easy. You know exactly what day they're going to come out on, and you can't make a late payment unless your money's not in there, and you're not going to pay your bill anyways if it's not in there. So just so you know, automate your payments, but also automate your savings deductions so you get used to not having that money. It's easy to live with something you never think you have. So yes, it'll be hard at first, like I'm getting ready to do. I just doubled my amount of savings going in. But on the same note, once I get used to that, it'll be extremely easy, because it was sucked at first when I started taking it out. I got very used to it and it was easy. And we're about ready to wrap this video up. Lastly, it says, in the world we're in, use online budgeting tools to help control and monitor your spending. It's a lot easier to not have a piece of paper that you have to take everywhere to write down $1 hamburger, $1 this, $1 that, $2 here, $5 here. I like to use this free Google Docs one, but they have some on here called Mint, which looked awesome, but I could not get my bank accounts to go on, and there's another one, but I'll link them down in the description below. So that is basically my summary of it. However, there is a section, like in the first one, called Financial Cramming. I would like to read those off to you. That basically just goes over everything that I talked about. And that is, the first of 5, is to calculate how much you need to save each month to reach your financial goals. It will give you a rough idea about how much money you need to set aside. Next one, keep a spending diary for 1 month. By forcing yourself to write down everything you spend money on, you will get a better sense of where it's going and where you might be able to trim some to save up some more money and put it towards your savings goals. It says you can use bethkobler.com/budget calculator. I'll link that down in the description below. Automate your savings by having a certain amount siphoned from your paycheck each month and put into your savings account. Next one, consider these guidelines when evaluating your financial fitness. Spend no more than 30% of your take-home pay on housing, and deduct at least 15% of your take-home pay to savings. Also, don't allow your monthly debt payments, or not including your mortgage, like I said, to exceed 20% of your monthly take-home pay, or your total debt, not including your mortgage, to exceed 20% of your annual take-home pay. Which, that's a bunch of fancy words for exactly what I said. And the last one, to wrap up this video, gain control of your finances by setting up a filing system, developing regular bill paying habits, using tools like Mint to help you control your spending, and set up alerts through your bank to make sure that your bills are paid on time. So I learned a lot from this chapter. I hope that you guys are interested in what I'm saying and learning. I hope you stuck with me to the end. I learned a lot from this, and I continue to learn, not only from this book, but I am watching a lot of YouTube videos about it, and I'm learning a lot, and I feel like I'm definitely getting my financial life on track. I already have read chapter 3, but I need to go through and make my notes so I can make a quality video like I did. It is about 3 times as long as that second chapter, and about 4 times as long as the first chapter. So I'm going to try to get that done soon while simultaneously reading chapter 4, so that should be fun. But thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.